Welcome to this lecture on the relationship between internal control, risk management, and corporate governance. In this session, we'll connect three powerful concepts that work together to protect organizations, ensure accountability, and drive long-term success. Let's start by understanding the big picture. Corporate governance provides the overall framework for how an organization is directed and controlled. Risk management identifies and manages uncertainties that could affect the achievement of objectives. Internal control provides the tools, processes, and systems that help manage those risks and ensure governance principles are effectively implemented. In other words, corporate governance sets the tone, risk management identifies challenges, and internal control provides the mechanisms to respond. Imagine these three as layers of protection that reinforce each other. Governance ensures ethical leadership and oversight. Risk management ensures that potential threats and opportunities are recognized. Internal control ensures that policies and procedures are in place to execute strategies and safeguard assets. Let's examine how they interact in practice. Corporate governance begins with leadership, the board of directors and senior management. Their primary responsibility is to set objectives, define acceptable levels of risk, and establish an ethical culture. Good governance ensures transparency, accountability, and fairness in decision-making. But setting policies alone is not enough. They must be put into action. That's where internal control and risk management come in. Risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, and responding to risks that could hinder the organization from achieving its objectives. Risks may be strategic, operational, financial, compliance-related, or reputational. Effective risk management doesn't aim to eliminate all risks, but to balance risk and opportunity. It's about taking the right risks in a controlled way. Internal control provides the structure and discipline to make that possible. For example, once management identifies the risk of data breaches, governance defines accountability for cybersecurity oversight. Risk management evaluates the likelihood and potential impact of the breach, and internal control designs the specific safeguards, such as access restrictions, encryption, and periodic testing, to mitigate that risk. This coordinated approach ensures that strategy, risk, and control work in harmony. The COSO framework reinforces this integration. In fact, COSO developed a separate framework for enterprise risk management, (ERM), which aligns directly with internal control principles. Both emphasize that effective governance depends on understanding and managing risk within the organization's risk appetite. The stronger the internal control environment, the more reliable the risk management process, and the more robust the governance framework. Let's break this relationship down further. Corporate governance provides oversight, setting expectations, and ensuring accountability. Boards monitor management's risk-taking and demand transparency about performance and compliance. Risk management provides insight, identifying where the organization is vulnerable and helping prioritize attention and resources. It gives governance the information needed to make informed decisions. Internal control provides execution, translating governance policies and risk assessments into day-to-day practices. It ensures that strategies are implemented effectively and that risks are mitigated within defined boundaries. When these three work together, the result is organizational resilience. The board and senior leaders receive accurate information, management operates confidently within established parameters, and employees understand their responsibilities and limitations. The organization becomes both agile and controlled, able to seize opportunities while maintaining integrity and compliance. Let's consider a real-world perspective. After major corporate scandals like Enron and WorldCom, regulators worldwide strengthened requirements for corporate governance and internal control. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act in the United States, for instance, made top executives personally accountable for the effectiveness of internal controls over financial reporting. This law formalized the link between governance, risk management, and control, making it clear that they are interdependent elements of ethical business conduct. Technology has also deepened this relationship. Data analytics and continuous monitoring systems now allow boards and executives to receive real-time insights into risks and control performance. This transparency enhances governance and allows for quicker, evidence-based decisions. A breakdown in any one of these three pillars can have severe consequences. Weak governance can lead to poor oversight and unethical behavior. Inadequate risk management can expose the organization to avoidable losses. Ineffective internal controls can allow fraud or errors to go undetected. History has shown that organizations thrive when these three functions operate cohesively and fail when they do not. To summarize, corporate governance defines the direction and tone, risk management identifies and assesses uncertainties, and internal control provides the mechanisms to ensure compliance and performance. Together, they create a system of checks and balances that promotes transparency, accountability, and sustainability. In our next lecture, we'll explore the limitations of internal controls and understand why even the most well-designed systems require vigilance, review, and human judgment. Thank you for joining me in this session on the relationship between internal control, risk management, and corporate governance.